This is the battery I'm using now around my property. This is the new battery from Bluetti. It's called the AC180. The reason why I like this battery as opposed to other ones that I've been testing as of late is that it has a very high load capacity, so you can really put a ton of electronics on this thing and it can handle it. It can handle up to 1800 watts of output at one time, which is very, very impressive for a battery of this size. And I was actually just running my power washer to clean out my hot tub because I want to get that fired up tonight. And I thought, okay, this is going to be a good test because this power washer pulls 1750 watts. So we'll see if it can really, stand up to it. No problem. Power washer started right up and it was good to go. I even did my e-bike and then washed off my truck, and I'm getting ready to wash off my ATV. So it's really nice having this to be able to have portable and run around with it. The total battery bank size is 1,152 watts, so 1.1 kilowatts. And like I was saying, the max output is 1,800 watts. Charging this is absolutely no problem whatsoever. You can stay ahead of your power consumption easily because this can take up to, I think it was, when I plugged it into shore power, or like grid power, like into the wall, I think it was saying something like 1,053 watts. I have a screen capture, let me put that up right now. It was 1,050-ish watts, I think, that we were clocking in at. And so you can get this from 0 up to 80% in roughly like 45 minutes, which is extremely impressive. The quick charge features of these batteries is great because you do use the majority of your power during the daytime hours, and so at night, out here at least, all I'm really pushing is my fridge. And if that's on direct current, then I don't have to worry about a massive power loss with the AC conversion, because when you turn the AC on, it converts DC power to alternating current. So, you do most of your power consumption during the day, and that's when you're able to harvest solar, and so you can stay ahead of all your, your power needs. The long battery life with the 1,152 watts of capacity is great because I can run my place here for at least 24 hours on one charge. And, I got my Starlink, which is roughly about 30 watts continuously. Got my fridge that I run, I power my computers. I've got my air conditioner that I run, or that I, use to help keep the air cool. And then just ancillary stuff like the water pump for my hot tub, that's about 45 watts per hour. And so all those things, when you add it up throughout the day, it gets to about 1,000 watts in a 24-hour period. But the fact that I'm able to run my whole life for an entire day on one charge is very impressive. And so I love the fact that this has a pretty large capacity considering the size. This is a small little cube. This isn't that big. The tech of these has come so far in the past just like 3 years. It's just amazing. This AC180 is now for sale on Bluetti's website. If you look at the cost for this, it's actually lower than what the industry standard is. The industry standard is usually about $1 per watt hour. And so, if you were to apply that to this battery, that'd be $1,152, but it's well underneath that. So check out the website. I think you'll be impressed. You can expand the capacity of this battery up to almost 2 kilowatt hours of power by adding the B80. This B80 is the sole extensional battery that could link with this AC180, AC60, EB3A, EB55, and EB70S by using a parallel pack port to DC7909 optional accessory cable. This B80 is pretty cool because not only is it an extensional battery pack, but you can use it as a power station, a standalone unit. So you don't necessarily have to link it if you don't want to. Alright, let's check out the battery itself. Now, this display is very advanced compared to the battery that I have, but that battery was 6 years old, so I really love the upgrades. One of the things that is most useful for me is when it gives the percentage underneath it, it will tell you how many hours you have left of operation at the current draw of the battery or the power that you're using out of here. So that can give you a great gauge as far as, hey, I can go throughout the entire evening, or I need to do some more energy saving techniques in order to make sure I can make it until the morning when solar is going to kick back up. Got 4 AC outputs. They're 120 volts a piece, and it can handle up to an 1800 watt load. Got your DC port over here for your fridge, your 12 volt 10 amp. You've also got your direct current plugs out here for USB. These are kind of like the typical USB-A, and then you have your USB-C, which can go up to 100 watt. That's really great for when I charge my laptop because, I tell you what, that thing can pull a lot of power. The AC plug can be found right here, and it's just on the side of the power station, and you use just like a normal plug. You don't have to have like any sort of special adapter, and these are universal. Heck, I remember they used to use these for the computer towers way back in the day when I used to have gaming computers. But you just take this, you just simply plug it in here, and then plug it into shore power and you're set. You also have the option to plug from your cigarette lighter in your car, and you just plug it in right here. So while you're traveling, you can charge up, which is really nice. And then lastly, you have your solar option, which is just your typical MC4 connector that plugs into your solar panels, and you can do 500 watts of power in here at one time with solar. A couple things to mention. This will run all of my camping gear, no issues at all. So when I go out truck camp, if I want to take this battery with me, I'm set, and there's going to be no problem with pushing anything that I have that I carry in my truck. As far as the property goes, you know, I definitely can run through this pretty quick, especially if I'm using my my power washer. You know, it's 1750 watts that it pulls. But the great thing is I can still pull it, and then if I want to go ahead and go easy on my power consumption for the rest of the day, I can fill back up the battery with the 500 watts I can put in with solar, or if I have shore power, you know, I can put in, I think it's up to 1440 watts is what you can do total as far as like shore power. That's AC power coming in. But yesterday when I did it, I think it clocked in at like, I think it was just under 1100, so I'll have to double check. One thing I want to make mention with these new batteries, and especially the new tech that's involved in these with quick charging, is it's not a problem to stay ahead of your power consumption. In the past, you know, the batteries were good, but you were limited as far as how much power you could put into them at one time. I remember at one point, a lot of the batteries were capped at like 150, 160 watts of input of solar at one time, and so, you know, it's easy to consume more than that throughout the day, so you're kind of having a losing battle. Well, the new tech in these batteries has completely eliminated that worry. And so as long as you have a big enough solar field, or if maybe even if you have access to shore power, you know, if I'm on the road, what I would do is when I'm doing laundry, I'd take this thing into the laundromat, plug it into the wall while I do laundry. I do one load real fast. By the time I leave, this thing's up to 100% from zero, which is amazing. And so that gives you a lot of flexibility, and you don't have to babysit your solar all day long, which is what we used to do in the past. All my nomad friends and me, we talk about it, like, what are you doing today? I'm babysitting solar because we got a storm coming. It's going to be cloudy for 2 days. I want to make sure my battery's at 100%. You don't have to worry about that now. So, you know, you're able to quick charge, and then you can go about your day and do your other stuff, and it frees up your schedule, which is real nice. So, bravo to Bluetti on this battery. I really like it. Another thing that I very much appreciate from Bluetti is the fact that they let me use this for a couple months before they asked for the review, which is really nice. I have some other companies that I've talked to, and they're like, we want a review right away. I'm like, I need to use the battery first. I gotta know what I'm working with here. So, but I'm really impressed with Bluetti. In my opinion, Bluetti is one of the top in the entire power station business. And so you can't go wrong with them. I had an excellent experience with my first battery with them, and I'm looking forward to my experience with this. So check out the links in the video description below. The battery is now on sale. It's an excellent battery. Like I said, I've been testing it out now for a little over 2 months, and it's just done great. So you can't go wrong with it. All right, if you've got any questions, hit me up in the comments section below. Thank you for watching.